All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the 13th and final lesson of A Day Japanese in 5. Today we're going to go into explaining advice and obligations. This is the second time or third time of me recording this because my recording application keeps crashing. So let's get into this right away. For the learning objectives, we have 5 today. We have ndes slash no des, which is a way to explain something. Sugiru, which is a way to say something is too much. Hou ga ii desu, which is to say something, to give advice to someone. Nakereba ike masen is where you're obligated to do something, you have to do something. And de shou, which is a speculative way of saying probably or am I right or I think. Let's get into the first one, which is no des slash ndes. This is a way to give explanation to something or give background information. So you use the short form of a verb or any other word, and you put no slash n behind it, and then des or da if you're being very casual. So we're going to take 3 words here. The first one is kuru, which is to come. どうして konakatta desu ka? So the short negative past form of kuru is konakatta. Then we're going to do the n behind it, and we're going to say desu ka, which is a question. So どうして konakatta desu ka? Why didn't you come? You could say kino before this, which would say be yesterday. So kino どうして konakatta desu ka? Why didn't you come yesterday? For the next one, I have yomu, or sorry, I have itamu. Itamu is to say it hurts. When it's also, you could use it as an adjective where you say itai. So the short form of this could be onaka ga itai desu. So now you're giving a background explanation as to why your belly is hurting because onaka is belly. So onaka ga itai desu. For aru, which is to say to be somewhere or you are a thing, aru is for things that aren't alive and don't move. So in this case, you could talk about a test, for example. Ashita testo ga arun desu. So you're given an explanation, a background information for tomorrow, and that is that there is going to be a test. Moving on. Sugiru. This is a way to say something is too much. You use this with adjectives, verbs, both e and na adjectives, by the way. So you could say it's too much this, or you have done too much of that. So I have an example for each of these. First, we have the e adjective where I use takai, which is expensive. We're going to use the stem of takai, which is taka. Then we're going to add sugi, and we're going to add ru slash mas, and we're going to have takasugi mas or takasugiru. This is how you build it up. You use sugi first from the stem of the verb slash adjective, and then you add ru or mas behind it, depending if you're speaking keigo or normal Japanese, and then you have too much of that single thing. So in this case, it will be too expensive. So, このカバンは高すぎる. This bag is too expensive. Moving on to a na adjective, we have shizuka. Shizuka means expensive. The stem of shizuka is still shizuka. So here we're going to add sugi or and ru slash mas behind it. So this will be takasugiru or sorry, it would be shizuka sugiru or shizuka sugimasu. So here you would say この部屋は静かすぎます or この部屋は静かすぎる. This is something you could say when you're in a horror movie and the room is too quiet because 部屋 is room. So this room is too quiet. For the last one, I used a verb, so 食べる, which is to eat. The stem of 食べる is 食べ. Then we're going to add sugi or and ru slash mas. So here we could say 食べすぎます, 食べすぎる. You ate too much, I ate too much. So an example sentence of this would be その人はマクドナルドを食べすぎる. That person eats too much McDonald's. Moving on. ほうがいいです. Okay, so this is how you would give advice to someone, or you could say it's better to do this. You would use the short form of the verb in any time, or negative slash affirmative. Doesn't matter, just as long as you're using the short form. And you would add ほうがいいです. This just means it's better to do something. So I have 2 verbs which I would like to change up in custom ways. So we have 寝る, which is to sleep, and 行く, which is to go. The short form, short past positive form of 寝る is 寝た, so I slept. And using this in an advice form would be the 早く寝た, and then we're going to add the 方がいいです. 早く寝た方がいいです. So it is better if we slept early today. Then we're going to take 行く, where I used the present but negative form of 行く, which is 行かない, not to not go. So here would be 行かないほうがいいです. So you're going to add that ほうがいいです behind the 行かない again. And that would be, it would be better if you didn't go, maybe because it's dangerous or because the trip takes super long. Moving on. なければいけません. Okay, this is a way to say something is obligated or you have to do it. So you would say the verb short negative form. You would get rid of the e and then you would add ければいけません. So this, what I mean by getting rid of the e is the following. So when you have a verb and you put it in the short negative form, you always get an e at the end. You get ない、しない、行かない、食べない. That's always how it ends. So getting rid of that e would give you なければいけません. So for these two verbs I have here is する and 行く. Putting them in the short negative form would be しない and 行かない. Getting rid of that e is しな and 行かな. So for the first example where you use the しない is this. 勉強をしないけばしなければいけません. So I have to study. For the other one, あそこ, so over there, に行かなければいけません. So I have to go over there. If you want to be super casual, you can say きゃいけない instead of ければいけません, which is the same. You're just changing the ければ for きゃ and you're changing the いけません for いけない. So you're going to say いけなきゃいけない. I have to go. Or しなきゃいけない. So I have to do it when you're talking to a friend of yours that you have to go somewhere or you have to study. Whatever. Moving on, でしょう. So this is where you're talking in a probability slash speculative way. So it's a very softened guess, or you could say use it as am I right? It's very broad, so let's go into it so it's a little more clear. You would use the short form of a verb or word in general. Could also be an adjective, and then you're going to add でしょう behind it. So that would mean probably, I think, or right. You're being speculative. For the first word, I have an e adjective, which is 寒い. This means something is cold. 明日 tomorrow は寒いでしょう. It must be, I think, probably it's going to be cold tomorrow. When you put a ka behind it or question mark in English, I have another example. So yasumi, which is a noun for vacation, holiday, a free day. 明日は休み, so tomorrow is a free day or holiday. でしょうか or question mark is it's tomorrow it's going to be a free day, right? You could ask this to your classmate or a colleague. いる, which is the verb for to be, for things that are moving and alive. So Maria-san is obviously alive and moving. She is a girl. Maria-san wa ima ie ni iru desho. So you're guessing that she's probably at home. That's why she's not with you at work or something right now. Maria-san wa ima, so now, ie, at home, ni, so at, iru, and that's to be, desho. So you're guessing that she's probably at home right now. All right, that's it. Here's the integrated practice for today. We're going to go into giving reasons with the no des slash ndes. An example of this could be nemuin des, which is to say I'm tired. That's why I'm feeling not energetic. So you're giving the reasoning, the background information as to why you're not energetic today. In this case, that would be nemuin des. Using sugiru, this means it's too much. So saying 昨日食べすぎました or 食べすぎた. Here you're saying I ate too much yesterday. You're just going to say too much of anything. Just do a couple of examples. Given advice, もっと勉強した方がいいです. So saying I should have studied more. You're going to do that short form and then doing the 方がいいです behind it. Saying what you must do. レポートを書かなければいけません. I have to write my report. You're going to use that なければいけません or きゃなきゃいけない. So you have to do it. And making a guess. あの人は日本人でしょう. So here they're guessing that that person is Japanese. All right. I think that's it. Yep. All right, everybody. That was the final lesson of Day Japanese N5. It was the 13th one. It's been quite a good journey. I hope you guys have learned a lot from it. Please let us know when you finish this. Write in the community how much you've learned and if you're ready for JLPT. If you are, please enroll for the practice test, which we do every couple of months or so. They are personally graded by me and one native Japanese person. So please check it out. It's right below this video where you can just click the link and it takes you right to the forum. I hope you guys have learned a lot from this. I certainly did. It was great. I'm currently working on Japanese N4, so please be excited for that. And I'll see you guys later. Good luck. Ciao, ciao.